compartment is separated. So if you look inside here, there's a door just like this, built into the wall, and then also into the floor. The only compartment that you put any type of fuel in is the lower left-hand compartment. In that compartment, the only fuel that we're going to put in to get started is straw and then these pine strips. So if you were going to frame a door and do some, carpentry work, with just thin pieces of pine, nothing more. You don't want to use any crazy amounts of fuel because you want the box to actually last a little while. So it's straight up, just strictly straw and hay and some pine strips. There is no fuel in the bottom right compartment or the top right compartment. There's nothing. But what's the fuel source going to be that's in there? Say it? Oxygen, but what else? Smoke, right? The smoke turns into fuel. And what happens is the box itself
has to go
upside down.
Yeah.
So. The box itself, the OSB and the glues, turns into the fuel itself. So that's what makes this prop so much fun, because the box consumes itself, and the toxic smoke turns into the fuel itself. So I always have 2 firefighters helping. We have one on each side. I'm going to explain to them when they get over here what they need to do, and then we'll light this up and I'll walk you through it. The thing that you need to know, especially if you're going to go back to your own departments and burn these boxes, every single box operates a little bit differently. I've burned almost 100 of these boxes now, and not one of them has been the same. The lessons are always the same. Every lesson that we're going to go through always occurs, unless the humidity is really high or you have a windy condition. But you just have to be prepared to be able to go forward. That's why I encourage you to build a couple of them and really work to perfection to get through, so you know what lessons you're looking for. Once you guys are situated, have you come over here and explain to you what we're going to do. Just yet. You guys come on over here and explain this process. So I need one on this side of the box and one on this side of the box. So your only job, just seems like you didn't, is this lower left-hand compartment. So this door just slides open and closed. If you're here, and I'd say halfway, just halfway of what's open. There's no exact science. So if we just all the way out, all the way closed, say you go half, just shut it down about halfway. I'm going to walk you. This is water. This area. As the fire starts rolling out of here, you want to wet this down to keep this from burning. The other thing that I mean is do more straw. Start to use fire. I'll sit on that straw behind you. Okay. You got the hard job?
Hopefully it'll be good.
So you have 2 compartments to do it. So come down here with the bottom compartment. Once we get the box going really over there, you can have your pull the front door off. Right? Keep this close. Then the next step after a minute or so, is to take that door out side to side. That one you can drop. Pull around. Feel free to get stuck. That's fine. Then we're going to go up to this compartment. We're going to take the door off. Keep this door closed. This goes up like this. I may have to close this off at some point. And then if you look in, there's one door. That means when I tell you, that one goes well, that one needs to come a long way out. Okay? If I take go halfway, we'll just hold it in place. Same thing as well. Then once we get into the vertical ventilation. So the other piece of the box, besides what you can see, is we have a vertical ventilation hole already cut in the roof. And we have a slide door to simulate cutting the hole in the roof. But after we cut the hole in the roof, what else do we need to do? Push down the sheetrock. Now, you never want to put water in a ventilation hole. We push down the sheetrock. So then we have another slide tray to simulate pushing down the sheetrock. So when I say open up the roof, this is opening up the roof. This is pushing down the sheetrock. All right, and open and close. So I'm going to light the fire, and then we'll go through and we'll start talking about the different lessons. So what kind of materials are we burning right now? Class A materials. Once you guys start getting smoke, then you'll need to put your mask on, but right now it's okay. Class A materials. So what's our smoke color? Light color, right? That's the moisture coming out of the materials that we're burning. Now this box is not airtight, but if I shut this down completely, what's going to happen to the fire?
It's going to go out.
It's going to go out. Why?
Because there's no oxygen.
Because there's no oxygen. So now as we open that up, we'll see that the fires should be out, right? So now we have to add a little bit of what? We have to add a little bit of heat and reignite it. The hardest part about this box is the first 20 minutes to get this one compartment actually going good. Once the first 20 minutes goes by, then things will really start to progress pretty rapidly. We don't have a lot of wind tonight, not a lot of humidity, so things should go well. But now you can see, we talked about neutral plane. Look right down there. See the smoke tunneling? See the neutral plane? Because that's your opening. So out of that opening, we have what type of flow? Bi or uni? Bi-directional flow, right? We have smoke, heat coming out of that opening, and we have fresh air going in. So we have bi-directional flow. The other thing I want to show you is, think I can light this smoke off? Why can't I light that smoke off like that candle experiment? It's not what? It's not rich enough. There's not enough gases yet. There's not enough unburned products of combustion. Can't open it up all the way. So we're just adding some more straw. Close it halfway. And you're going to see as that straw gets going, we'll have a clear, defined neutral plane. Because if we have fire, what does it need? It needs oxygen, so it's drawing that oxygen in. It's a really nice defined neutral plane. But you see the fire's burning kind of slow right now. If we open this up and give it more oxygen, a little bit more heat. Remember, that's only straw, right? That's nothing crazy. That's not some, material that's been treated so it won't burn. All it is dry straw. So now as that fire gets going good, we'll start getting some rollover. Close it halfway. So now we close it down, and look, we slowed the fire's progress, right? It was going pretty good. Open it up all the way. As he opens it up all the way, the fire is going to intensify. It's going to grow a little bit faster. It's going to move a little bit quicker because we increase the amount of oxygen. But now, because we have just straw in there, which has a high moisture content, we got to keep adding straw in here until we get the actual box itself going. So once that fire starts to grow, we'll start having the rollover, and we'll start. Don't lose your gloves. Yep. You see, now we have a little what showing? A little smoke, right?
Yep.
The more flames, the less smoke. Close it all the way for me for a second. Hold it there for a second. Now open it up halfway. Keep going. Keep going halfway. Keep going a little more. Keep going. So now look, we have more smoke. Less oxygen equals more smoke because it takes over the environment. So now you see we have more flames, less smoke. Close down halfway. So all that I'm doing now is playing with the openings or controlling the openings and trying to increase and decrease the amount of oxygen and change the size of the fire. We closed that compartment down almost all the way now, and we made that fire a lot smaller just by changing the amount of oxygen. The same thing we could do in the fire ground. But you can see the fire's starting to roll over. We don't have a great neutral plane showing just yet, but as that fire builds, we will. So we talked in the class from the very beginning about the different types of smoke and the density of the smoke. Close it down all the way for me, and it'll be ready to open it right back up. Open it all the way back up. So now you see that the smoke is kind of white and light color. I'm going to add some styrofoam. As I add that styrofoam, and that styrofoam starts to melt and break down, what's the color of the smoke that we're going to see? Black. Hopefully black. Depending on the lighting, we'll see. But you'll see it will start burning a little bit faster, right? Not necessarily hotter, start burning a little bit faster. The smoke, you'll start to almost taste the difference in the air of the smoke. Close it halfway. Right there. Good. So now watch those flames. See how they're looking for the oxygen? They're almost like that video out of Chicago with that row house. It starts puffing and pushing at that front door. Open it up halfway. Now there's plenty of fuel in there, right? But look, the fire almost went completely out. Open it all the way. Nice picture of the smoke tunneling. You can see the smoke getting really drawn right in. And now we have good rollover through the flow path. Close it halfway. Stop right there. Close it halfway. Right there. So the hardest part of this drill is the first 20 minutes, like I was saying. And right now, all that I'm waiting for is this compartment itself to actually get going. Because right now, it's still the fuel burning itself. Close it down halfway. Yep, you can hit that top a little bit. So the other piece here is we're trying to keep the box from burning and the outside of the box. So all he's doing is applying a little bit of water to the framework. She says that obviously as the fire grows, we start getting smoke throughout the rest of the structure. Even though all the doors are closed and all sealed up, it starts pushing through the cracks and the crevices of the building, just like a private house will. You see the flames flickering out there, where the smoke is starting to light off. The smoke is getting a little bit more dense, like that candle experiment. But now I can't really light this smoke off yet. See, it doesn't really sustain or support combustion, but it's not rich enough. But as the drill goes on, you'll see that that will change. Should you just open up the lower right compartment, please? So you see, he's going to open up the door to the lower right. Just put your gloves on too, guys, because you'll start. You may get some backdrafts to occur once you get burned. Now in the lower right, you can see that because the wind is kind of impacting your ability to see clearly, but the smoke is not pressurized. There's no velocity. There's not a lot of density coming out of that compartment. But yet there's smoke in there. But see, it's lazily drifting out. But now he's going to reach in. He's going to open up the door between the lower left and the lower right. You're going to see the smoke change. It's going to become a little bit more pressurized. And almost immediately, flames followed that ventilation hole. Now you can really see a nice defined neutral plane, right? So that's your bidirectional flow. You have your flow of your fresh air in down below, and you have your smoke, heat, gases coming out of the top, and you can see how that smoke is lighting off. Close that close that compartment all the way. I want you guys to get it masked up too. It's going to move kind of quickly now. So as she closes that, I'm going to open up here a little bit. So now we have that whole first floor is wide open, and we're just letting the fire build within that first floor a little bit. And once we start playing with these openings, we hopefully have some ventilation-induced fire behavior. We still can't light this smoke off. Right, it's not rich enough. As soon as you're ready, you can open up the lower right. So we just made entry for ventilation or for fire attacks. We open up the front door and we're going looking for the fire. You can see the neutral plane. It's supplying that fire with the oxygen that it needs. It's traveling from the lower right part of the box all the way over to the lower left part of the box. But now we're going to have a window fail. So I want you to open up this compartment, lower left. Right, because we increased the amount of heat, so we're going to have a window fail. And we probably snuffed the fire out, which is okay. I want to show you that we still can't light this smoke off. Like in there we could, but not outside. So again, close that. Now, do we have a lot of fire going in that compartment? Oh, we still have fire?
Yeah, we still have fire going.
Well, we almost snuffed that fire completely out by just limiting the oxygen flow through some OS&B. So now look, we're starting to get some vent point ignition. Close that halfway. And you go on there. Don't get burned. All right, she's just gonna hold that open halfway because we're trying to make that compartment a little bit smaller. This. Open it up all the way, lower right. Keep it just like that. Close it all the way. Good, leave like that. Open up yours just a little bit, just a hair, right there. Close it. Open up yours all the way. Pull it open and move out of the way. So you see, look at that neutral plane. We see the smoke has increased velocity right now, and almost immediately it lit off. So think about your fire attack. You open up that front door to go in to make your initial push, you're venting the building, and it will light off above you. Close that lower right completely again. We see right now that, is it burning in there? Yeah, and it's increasing the pressure. So what is it looking for? It's looking for a flow path. It's looking for oxygen. So we're going to open up that lower right again and make entry for fire attack. Move out of the way. Open up lower left. Did it without it. Close it. Close lower right completely. Good. So what I want you to do is take the top right off. The same thing now. The building's charged with smoke. There's no neutral plane there. So you know that that's not feeding the fire at all yet. Open up lower left just to halfway. Good. Close it. So I want to show you this smoke. Do you think I can light this smoke off like that candle experiment? No, I agree with you. Look, it's starting, right? Not enough to support combustion yet, though, but it's starting to get rich enough. It's starting to get enough toxic components of the building there. Open up lower right. Close lower right. Good. So now what I want you to do is reach in and open up the door on the top right, on the floor. But remember, you got to pull that one out of there. All right, so now look at that smoke condition. Now we're going to go in. We have a window that failed on the second floor, but we're going to go in here and may actually go in lower right. We're going to make entry in lower right. And it immediately flashes over. Close lower right. Completely. Close top right. Open up lower left. Good, close it. You're starting to lose that box already. Good, yeah, soak that down pretty good. All right, open up. Yeah, I don't know why it's burning. All right, open up top right. Now look at the neutral plane crate in there. There's no neutral plane, so we have unidirectional flow. But now open up lower left, just a crack. Watch that compartment change. Open it up a little bit more. I had it closed a little too long, I think. Right. Just added a little bit of heat. And look at it kick back on the first floor. Close lower left completely. Watch the fire in the lower right. It's gonna top right. It's gonna go out. Open up lower left again. See it light off in there? Close lower left. Now look at that smoke in that top right. See the neutral plane forming? The wind is pushing, currents is pushing that down. As it lifts, you see a nice neutral plane there. All right, it's sucking in, going all the way down. Open up the bottom right for me. And immediately we had vent point ignition. Close bottom right completely. Oh, we got flames out of the roof already. Actually, close top right for me. Open up top left. Just take top left and get rid of it. So this compartment is not connected to any of the other compartments. But what's happening is we're probably starting to burn through the floor there a little bit. So you can see once that has the right mixture of smoke, heat, and fuel, we can light this off. Right? There's no fuel in there. That's just smoke. Close that up. Good. Now you take off. We snuffed out. Top right. bottom left. You didn't even have to. But we didn't even have to. It already started. The smoke already started letting go. Close bottom left. Close top right off completely for me. Close top left and top right. We're gonna lose this box pretty quick, so I want to see if we can get some ventilation. All right, so now we're going to cut a hole in the roof. All right, so we know that vertical ventilation is going to give us that lift that we talk about, right? So you're going to cut a hole in the roof. But then we're going to push down the sheetrock. As he pushes down the sheetrock, watch the pressure change in the front of the box. We get that lift that we've always heard about, right? But now we're going to make entry for fire attack, right? So we're going to open up the bottom right. But yeah, we've been taught ventilation equals cooling. Does ventilation equal cooling? No, what equals cooling? Water, right? Close the roof. The sheetrock, yep. Close lower right. We close the whole building up for a minute. I just get a little concerned that the box is going to go quick because it's burning through the floor and the bottom. So we're going to try to get a couple backdrafts to occur here, but I'm not sure because it's getting the air that it needs to the bottom. So I'm not sure if we're going to get any good backdrafts or not. What you guys to do is open up the bottom left and top right at the same time. I don't think it's going to trigger. Close yours, lower left, there you go. Close lower left, open the lower left. Close it. Open it all the way. So almost immediately, close it. Now what do we think about this smoke? Think we can light that off now? So that's vent point ignition. You can see that the smoke is burning, but inside the compartment is not burning. Close that. All right, so that's what we have vent point ignition. So you'll see the same thing happen to the roof. Open up the roof and push down the sheetrock for
Oh, God.
He's going to open up the roof, and then he's going to push down the sheetrock. Now again, we're going to go in for fire attack in the lower right-hand compartment. Remember that minute and a half we were talking about? That operational time clock, this is a lot smaller, so timing is going to go a lot quicker. Close down lower right completely.
Oh, God.
Watch out for a second, just close that down if you could. Look at the pressure that it creates. Come on, what's the matter? You can't close the door? No. You don't like to. Come on, close the door. Close the ceiling, close the roof.
That was so funny.
Good, so now we saw that we had plenty of fire going there, right? There was fire throughout that entire box. All right, but now you arrive, and this is what we have. We have a house that's completely charged with smoke. What do we need to do? We need to go in to fight the fire, right? So how are we going to do that? We're going to open up the front door, so we're going to go in the lower left. At the same time, oh, good, open the front door. Now look, as soon as he opens it up, it lights off. Close it. We've lost the integrity of the inside of the box. So what you do is open up the roof again and push down the sheetrock. Now open up bottom right again. Close it. Close bottom right. Open up top right. I'm not getting any good pressure waves. I think it's getting too much air from that lower left compartment. Close it. Close the roof. All right, so before the box burns down completely, so we got a couple of cameras here. I want the whole group to come kneel down right in the white line in front of the box and face the cameras. Alright, so now open up the, kneel down, open up the roof.
Just hold it.
Is everybody ready? Alright, open up the roof, open up both doors in the first floor. Lower left and lower right. Hold on, we'll get some flames in a second. I love flames. Alright, everybody look over here. Open up the roof. Is the roof open?
Yep.
Hold on, we gotta get some good. You guys getting warm? No. Not yet?
Not
Alright, good.
Front burn.
Alright. There we go. Look at me. Good. Close the box up. Move away from the box before we light some of your clothes on fire. Close the box up. Yeah, she gone.
That was a good 7 hours worth of work, huh?
Yeah. So now we didn't talk tactics too much, right? But we started to talk about hose streams, right? And the proper hose stream and not proper hose stream. Open up the roof and push on the sheetrock. Open up top right. And open up bottom left. Watch with the improper hose stream. See the fire grow? Because of why? Because of the air. Did I push fire? Right, the quick shot at the ceiling like we talked about doesn't move fire, but you clearly saw if I covered this over and I made like a fog stream, that's going to entrain a lot of air, and that air will start pushing that fire right out of that second floor window. Close the first floor up, close second floor up. There's nothing left on the inside of the box, so we can't really compartmentalize it anymore. Blowing out the back. Was that? You can close it for a second. Let's increase the fire, and then we'll try open it, see if we get one good backdraft at least. Open up top right all the way. Open up bottom left. Not going to get any backdrafts. But when you build the box again, you see that we had the entire time there's a big gap down here. And I think that was affecting the air getting in. We couldn't keep it too tight. Close bottom left, all the way. Oh, don't break the door. Okay, close down top right too. We'll get and open up the roof. So what we're trying to show you is how ventilation induces or enhances the fire behavior. Everybody here clearly knows the fire likes what? Oxygen. If deprive it of oxygen, what happens?
Dies.
It goes out or will slow down its progress. If we give it a lot of oxygen, what happens? It grows. All right, open it all the way up. We're not going to be able to close it again. So let's open it up. We'll let it burn to the ground.
Woo. Yeah.
Well, there we go. We got a little light lit off there.
All the way?
Yeah, open it up all the way. There's nothing left of it.
Blow it out.
Put it on the ground.
Don't
We'll
look
have
at
it.
it.
You can throw it.
He missed that lesson in kindergarten.
Why do you think he's a firefighter?
So, Jake, you want to just let this burn so there's less cleanup?
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
Let it burn and we can put it out and we'll throw it in the fire pit.
Sure. Don't breathe the smoke if it's in the fire.
Nice fire.
Still need to switch it. Jared James.
Get in. Closer. Both of you, come on. Firefighting at his finest.
I don't know why I'm smiling. But you need the OS&B to burn to create the fire.
Over here, right?
Yeah, it will. No, you need the OSB. You need
Backing
a
up
lot of
a
OSB
little.
with off gas like that, so you can get the carbon. We can get it. But to get the
Like trying not to melt.
It's gonna fall forward, so just be careful.
We're in the collapse zone, guys.
All together. Yeah, the one room, but it's not gonna do what it needs.
Look at it! Look at it!
Who worked on that house so hard?
Oh.
You're